To the right side of the map, in red, the Samsung Khan player ahead 1-0 in the series. His ideas.
Samsung Khan, Roro.
Roro, man.
Yeah, he rolled his banelings into his opponent's main.
He certainly did. Making it look easy in that last game.
His opponent starts to the left side, starts for the Slayers team. And he is
Slayers, Mia.
still looking for the ring.
Yeah, love his glasses, man. They really make the face.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Overlords meet in the middle, decide that they are going to go their separate ways.
Yeah, we don't have the F5.
Yeah, no Air 5, no chit-chat, no smooching. You know, they already decided before they met. They actually just texted each other. They were like, well, we're just going to pass the same direction and not say a word to each other. It's been agreed.
Yeah,
Hatch first for Mia, by the way.
This is sometimes also so weird in Korea. I was in the subway just recently and I realized that two of the girls that were, one girl was sitting next to me, the other one was sitting across, and both of them talked at the phone, and at some point I realized they were actually talking to each other.
Yes.
And I was standing there, I was like, what's going on here? I'm like, why would you do that? I'm like, what? So they were really, for like 10 minutes, they were talking to each other on the phone.
Well, I would have just told them to switch one of them's seat with me so they could sit next to each other, because that wastes a lot of minutes, you know. Maybe they were using a free call service. There's a lot of those in Korea, but you know, you got to save those minutes if you want to talk a lot. And I mean, if they're talking to each other on the phone in the subway, they probably use a lot of minutes, I would expect.
Yeah, I would think so, but why?
You can't even hear.
Why?
I don't know, man. You can't even hear people very well on the subway when you talk on the phone. People call me on the subway. I'm like, I'm in the subway. Text me, and then they text me, and that's the problem solved.
Would have been so funny if they just canceled the call and then started texting each other like, I can't really hear you. The reception is so bad.
What are you doing right now? What are you up to?
Want to meet up later? Get a drink?
Hell, let's meet up at 2 stations down.
Well, sometimes Korea is just a little bit weird. And, well,
Sell motioning to us that he wants to hang himself or something like that.
He wasn't too happy about the last game, but let's see how his player is going to do in map number 2. So far at this point, we have the early expansion for Mia once again. Roro here with the speed not started just yet. This time it's actually Mia who is a little bit farther ahead with his tech, and he had a great opening here. He actually plays this a little bit more greedy than his opponent. So Mia at this point looking at a decent tech, at a good drone count, at an earlier hatch.
Yes. Even having his queens out earlier, which means that he's going to have, you know, slightly larger production. Almost as slight as the mineral boost technique.
Mia just not intimidated by what Roro did on the last map. Really important here. Shows a good mindset in game number 2. This is really important. A lot of players will play super safe and being like really extra careful when they face such an aggressive play by their opponent on map number 1. Not so Mia, who now has his Baneling Nest on the way, and he is of course still mining gas, so he can be the aggressor.
Yeah. And well, actually they're both still mining that gas, so even though Mia has a faster speed, he's going to have the timing to be aggressive, but I think things will even up. The question now becomes who makes the Roach Worm first and or Lair. That's like the next step of the ZVZ.
Mia doesn't have to be aggressive, you are so right. This is one thing that he of course wants to have, so he can basically defend. We have Spine Crawlers for both of them. It looks more like we are having a macro game here instead of early aggression this time, but it's definitely a map where you can try to pull it off. But with the evolution chamber that is being built for Mia right now, it certainly looks like he wants to be a little bit more on the safe side.
And look at how much the speed boost is helpful. He actually gets into the main. Queen stops him, but he sees no Lair. He was able to check that. And that's important because this is a time where Lair could be rushed very quickly, and now he knows that. And that's one small thing you get with that faster link speed.
And of course, he also saw the Baneling Nest, so that's not gonna... I mean, this is basically given that your opponent is building a Baneling Nest on this map. You need something because of the huge choke point to be safe against some kind of circling Baneling attack. But here comes the earlier Lair for Mia.
Yeah, and spraying the creep in such a way indicates that he wants to take a third base extension here. Oh, that was not a good trade with that Baneling.
Well, actually it was, because he hides his Lair tech.
That's actually important, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
well said,
I mean,
actually. Yeah, that's actually well said.
When it comes down to the resource, you're obviously right, but what's more important for him at this point is just denying the
Yeah,
scout.
actually, absolutely right. You were so right on that. And I misspoke. Because not seeing the lair tech is quite crucial here, because he doesn't know what Mia is doing at all. He sees a third base, though, and that may make him think, oh, the tech's even further behind, but actually Mia is cutting a few more corners, even getting a +1 for his Lings right away, which indicates Infestor play. We've seen a lot of +1 Ling Infestor play from Freaky, for example. And obviously later on you might get the attack upgrades for your Infesta Terrans, but you do normally keep your Lings upgraded first.
By the way, every time that that someone mentions Freaky, is it the same for you that you immediately think of this song? Get freaky, get freaky.
No, that's no.
But you know the song?
I'm not sure.
You don't?
I
have to play it to you later.
Yeah, I would like to hear this.
I can promise you one thing. From that point on, every single time you hear the player's name, you will just hum it in your head.
Sometimes I think of the Freakazoid theme song from the cartoon show, but...
I mean, I hope someone out there knows what I'm talking about. If not, everyone is just like, oh my god, he's insane.
After the thing we talked about with the minimap earlier, man, I don't
know.
This Baneling attack here is a little bit scary, but nicely controlled by Roro.
Look at the timing for the Infestation bit here. Actually, for Mia, it's so much faster. Yes. He has a really, really fast Infestation pit, and this can definitely help him quite a lot.
Yeah, he's trying to run by the Roaches and try to keep Roro on the defensive here while he gets for that fast Infestation pit tech going up.
And talking about Roaches, this is the one thing that Mia doesn't have. He's relying on the Zergling and Infestor strategy that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, just like Freaky, man. It's like he's taken a page out of his book, and targets on one of these Banelings. We'll get the second one as well. A nice little attempt by Mia, but it is shut down.
But that can do so much damage if you don't see it. If you don't pay attention to this and suddenly you have 2 Banelings in your mineral line, they explode, take down 7, 8 Harvesters, then you are in such a horrible position. So right now, we have the Infestation Pit also coming up for Roro, but obviously a lot later than for Mia. And all this gas that Roro has spent in Roaches so far is still available to Mia, who is using it to build the Infestors and to start this early attack.
And he actually still does not see the Infestation Pit he's going to. Well, yeah. If he had gone slightly more to the right, he wouldn't have seen it, but he does see it.
Does he get it? Yes! No, the Overseer is nice enough to stop for a second.
He's like, alright, you can take it. Yeah, he's like, I surrender. And if I try to run, I'd be in big trouble.
Well, at this point now, we have the +2 attack upgrade already coming up for Mia, and this is just a strategy that really revolves around a lot of Zerglings. I think at this point he really could use another hatch as well, depending on how exactly he wants to play, but Lava is going to be a problem for him. So currently he didn't miss too many injects, so he was really spot on with his mechanics, but this is something that might be a problem later. Here comes the Roach attack for Roro, who has of course a +1 attack upgrade already done and therefore can 2-hit a Zergling.
Yeah, the positioning of these Spine Crawlers is everything here, because even with Fungals, he won't be able to stop this many Roaches without Spine Crawlers to help out.
Hive Tech has been started for Mia. Of course, the strategy that he plays allows him to pump a lot of gas into his tech. And this is exactly what we see. The army supply at this point in time is highly in favor of Roro, though. Yep. Mia is relying on Spine Crawlers, on these upgraded Zerglings, and the Infestors.
He's making the transition. He's got Pathogen Glands finishing up, but you're right. He's spent a lot of resources and gas that if he doesn't do anything with them, it just allows Mia to tech further ahead. The Hive Tech will allow better upgrades like +3 for his Lings as well as Adrenal Glands, which he may decide to skip out on. It's up to him.
He still has the better account in Infestors. He has 6-0, but currently Roro already building a few Infestors. Mia will still be slightly ahead as he's adding additional ones. And of course he will have more energy with his Infestors. All those Infestors have been here for a while, and they just gathered up energy. And look at all these Spine Crawlers.
15 in total, and that's a lot of drones lost as well. It puts him just 7 Harvesters behind his opponent. But Roro with a more aggressive position, you could even arguably call this a soft contain that he set up while he takes a 4th base right now.
But a few Zerglings sneak past his position to the left of the map, and now he finds himself in an awkward spot.
Yeah, this is really awkward because now he's not going to be able to keep this hatchery. The Lings have +2, they're going to take it out, and he can even run by it and do even further damage.
Cancel it, he actually lost it.
And he's going to run by, he may force some Fungals here. Well, the Banelings did their job.
The Banelings did their job, and the Fungal as well. Mia now with Ultralis, with Adrenal Glands. Let's see how this is going to work out for him.
Yeah, this is such a cool composition. The thing is...
He's getting the Nidus network, and he has an Overlord in position.
This could be really huge. The upgrades for the Lings and Ultralis are shared, of course.
And right now we have, does he actually see this? We have one Overlord, one Overseer there, and there's a Zergling, so the Zergling will be able to spot it. That's really important. This is the most important Zergling in the entire game at this point.
Yeah. He's not going to start that Nidus right next to that Ling, I hope, because that would be pretty silly, but he may do it. Nidus Network now finishing. This will allow him to put his Infestors suddenly across the map. A ton of Spines going down to prevent a counterattack by Mia. Oh, this is so tense right now, actually. One Ultralisk on the way. Chitin is plating as well. Needs a little bit more time.
There comes another Observer, Overseer, moving in at the left side of the map. Is he going for it? In the middle now, the Zerglings on the move. More and more Ultralisks are being built. He needs to be careful if there is actually another Fungal. Nah, he's not moving out.
That would have been atrocious, actually.
10 Spine Crawlers, 11.
Yeah, he really wants to commit to the Nidus attack and just have the ready units at home with Fungals and Infestors. He knows that no counterattack will stop him. No Nidus being made yet. He drops a Changing, which is immediately taken out.
He just can't. This is the biggest problem that he has. There's no opening. There's no space where he can drop the Nidus without his opponent immediately being able to spot it and to attack it. Maybe later when he's leading with a fight, if there's a big battle going on and he's able to establish a Nidus, just sending a few Banelings in there would already help him so much.
He hasn't even put anything in the Nidus, and he's got a nice forward position here. Trying to poke off this hatchery and actually just barely does not get it. That's so frustrating for him.
He has the fourth established though in the middle of the map. That's the point where he's a bit ahead of his opponent. Here comes the Nidus Network. He's building it. At the natural actually, there is one...
That's a Changeling, so he actually has no vision of this. Well, actually he does with Overlords, but he's now reacting, going home, and...
busted!
Busts it.
Wow, that was a close one. That was really close.
Yeah.
If he didn't have those Zerglings, well, he should have still those Banelings. He would probably still have been fine, but that was too close for comfort.
And now a concern of Mia is...
Yep. He goes down again.
He kills the hatchery.
So good for him.
Obviously, the Roaches can be good against Ultralisks, but Mia's Ultralisk count is not going to be a wimpy one. He's actually going to have 10 Ultras out in total. I don't remember the last time I saw that many Ultralisks in DBZ this early, and with this many Infestors to support them, this is going to be actually insane to deal with. How can Roro stop this? He's trying to make his own Hive transition into Greater Spire, but it's a bit late. The Ultralisks are here. They're not going to wait too much longer. 3 of them popping out as we speak.
Good luck fungaling those.
Yeah. I mean, you can fungal, man, but they're going to just get a little bit of an itch on their back.
They're like, what was that? Yeah, they're not going to care. 16 to 13. And now, of course, he's in position. Mia, that is 125 supply for both of these players. The Spires have been started also for Mia. He also wants to have an opportunity to just transition. But look at the Spinecrawler wall. That's something that those Ultralisks will be a little bit uncomfortable with.
Yeah, this game could go really long, actually, as neither player is able to break. We may see a transition into Air Dominance being the more critical composition. And that's usually with Corruptors and Brewlords, but of course Mutalisk switches can be used if you, if you kill all the Infestors at some point, which with this many Infestors on the map I highly doubt will happen. 16 to 13 right now in favor of Roro.
The high ground is now in position of Mia. Is Mia really moving in with this?
Well, he wants to trade some Lings to get some more supply, and also potentially run by. This gives him a little bit of scouting information of how many Spines there are out there as well.
And the Greater Spire has been spotted. That's something that Mia already knows. He knows that Roro tries to transition here.
And now, something to think about is that with the high ground here, Mia can actually keep dropping infested Terrans on this hatchery. He can actually fungal drones is something that, until that Spire is done for Roro, he cannot stop. And this means the economy is going to be better for Mia, who surprisingly has not tried to take another hatchery just yet.
At this point, Mia and Roro, both at 4 bases, both with these massive amount of Spinecrawlers, really reluctant to attack into our opponent's space and just wall, because this is a forest, basically.
Yeah.
A Spinecrawler forest that we have.
So far, 23 Spinecrawlers at the front here for Roro, who's now making a 24th. And for Mia, see how many Spinecrawlers he has. A significant less amount. 15, the same 15 we talked about earlier. He's still got that same amount.
Mia is also going for a Nidus Network, and he finds himself in a similar position that Roro found himself earlier. There is just not a lot of space where he could place down a Nidus at his opponent's bases. There is a huge amount of Overlords scattered across the map. Really well done by Roro. Nice catch here. Those Roaches, of course, something that Roro wants to get rid of, but he did try to do some damage with them. And no chance.
No. He's going to use these Ultras to fight against the Infested Terrans, which, as fighting against Marines with Ultras, is not going to be very easy to actually succeed with. It's actually a much better trade for Roro than I expected.
But on the other hand, he's losing so much energy on these Infestors, and Mia is playing this quite well.
Yeah. And Mia he's already got Ultralisk back on the way, but the Broodlords are coming out for Roro. Look at the supply drop for him though. This is problematic to say the least.
Yeah, he's dropping so fast. The thing is that just currently Mia cannot only use the energy for the Infested Terrans, but also for the Fungals, whereas Roro's Fungals are basically useless against the Ultralisk. So it's just pointless. He can only get those Infested Terrans, and they are taken out by Ultralisk and Fungals. A sick combination against these low HP units.
Spore Crawlers are going to start to become important because we're going to have an air battle where Corruptors dominate, and then the Broodlords do the damage to the ground. But like Carriers in PvZ, making a ton of Spore Crawlers can really shut down this type of harassment. Not because that they can stop the Broodlords, but because they can stop the Corruptors from controlling the air.
Zerglings getting Fungal, both of them trying to free up some supply. Ooh la la.
Look at the bank for Roro though, it's much less than Mia right now. He's been trading much more cost efficiently this game.
He has more Broodlords though. This is going to be a bit of a problem later on. None of these players trying to take a fourth at this point in time. Now 8 Broodlords coming up from here and a Nidus. A Nidus in the main base. We have a Nidus network in
It's under
the
attack
main
by
base.
a Roach, but it's going to finish in time it looks like. So close. If he brought one Zergling, it would have stopped it.
He kills it.
And actually, yeah, he's still going to kill it. This was... It's scary, but, well... There's nothing else to say.
That's the saddest Nidus ever. He's like, yay!
This is my moment. And this Ling run by, though, is going to be much scarier.
Yeah, exactly. This is the moment for Roro. And Mia has to now be careful. In the middle of the map, here we have the battle, and suddenly the Fungals are good on the Broodlords and the Infested Terrans as well. But those Zerglings in the main base wreaking havoc, taking down the Queens, and can take down the Hive as well if they are Mia's not careful.
Mia needs to control his units in the middle of the map so he does not run into that Spinecrawler forest, but he does pull back. And the damage done here by these Lings is actually really significant. He's going to get the Greater Spire. He even stops +1 from completing up that Spire.
He kills the Ultralisk Cavern. He kills this hatch if he's really determined. And yes, Ultralisk Cavern down, Greater Spire down, the hatch survives. But Mia now, even though ahead in supply in a tough spot, another base to the bottom right might get him another edge over his opponent. But tech-wise, Roro in a good position.
Yeah, the Corruptor count in Mia's favor right now at 11 to none.
And that's basically all they can do.
Yeah, and he's got this one advantage, and he's going to push it right now while he rebuilds his Spire and gets ready for, just trying to kind of hang in here. The Fungals may be good here, but at the top of the ramp, it's so hard to attack. The Ultra should not try to come in like this, but the Zerglings actually take out several Infestors. It's hard to tell what is going on.
The battle is being won by Mia at this point in time.
Mia is going to take an advantage here.
He's 40 supply ahead. He's suddenly in a position where he can actually pressure this fourth base, and he's moving in. He still has Broodlords available, and he has the Corruptors. He is going to win this battle if he is really determined. He has still a lot of Broodlords, and they cannot be contested by Roro.
I mean, even though he lost a lot of units to the Spinecrawlers, the advantage is definitely his now. He's used all the Fungal energy and all the Infested Terran energy on his Infestors so the Corruptors can push the Broodlords way back. And now he's starting to work at these Spinecrawlers. The forest is being cut down, man, by... It's almost like they want to put a new elementary school in here,
He can't do anything about Mia's Broodlords. I actually don't get why Mia is moving back at this point.
He's concerned about getting his Corruptors fungal because he may lose his advantage, but I think he could still continue to pressure at the hatchery at least.
Fungal them all you want. There's not enough Fungals to actually chain Fungal them and kill them.
Because he wasted all of his... Well, not wasted, but he spent all of his energy.
Here we go.
And now he's doing it, yeah.
Now he takes it down. There was no reason to keep this hatch alive, and Mia moving back for a second, and he's like, wait a minute here. Turns back, takes it down, boom.
And now he's going to take an economy lead with the base at the bottom right as well, which... I believe Roro spotted. Actually, no, he did not. He's got 2 Overseers nearby, but did not see this. And Mia in a very convincing lead right now. It's going to take a while to break through those Spinecrawlers, but the Broodlords are going to start to work on them.
Yeah, this is exactly what Silla talked about. In in-house games, Mia is looking so strong, and this is why. With a nearly 50 supply lead over his opponent, he is dominating in this DBZ right now. We have him with a Greater Spire. I'm actually a little bit curious if the second Spinecrawler was taken down. It looks like it because he rebuilt his Spire as well.
Oh, yeah, he definitely took out the first. Oh, the second Spire.
Yeah, he actually took down both. For a second, I really thought that he must have missed that he had 2, which is a mistake that we see occasionally. But no, Roro with his Ling run by was able to take down both of those Spires. So here we have the base detected at the bottom right, and those infestors were able to spawn the infested Terrans. So the hatch is most likely going to fall.
Yeah.
But what is Oro going to do to answer this
Exactly.
attack?
Yeah, this is the hatchery being killed is nice, but it's negligible compared to the firepower of these Broodlords. 8 Corruptors now on the way, or out for Roro, but 8 to 15 man. That's
exactly.
That's not a battle you can win when your opponent has the high ground advantage like this.
Yeah.
And
good luck.
he can't use his investors to support his Corruptors because the Broodlords are going to push them back. That fumble on those Broods is not very significant.
It's 22 infestors though. If he can get close enough, then maybe. But here come the ground units taking those infested Terrans apart.
The Ultras are coming now too.
Yeah, great hero control by Mia. He just uses everything. He has his chess pieces in position, and now he's going for checkmate.
Yep, with Ultras against that many Spines, it does not work. But when the Spines have to fight this many infested Terrans, it starts to add up. Right now, 36 on the map for Roro, but they are starting to fall very, very quickly. The Corruptor count still remains in the favor of Mia. He pulls back here, and he remains dominant.
He needs to be careful, of course, against his opponent's infestors, and this is the biggest problem that he has, that there are so many of them. I mentioned it earlier, 22 against 11, now only 9 left for Mia, but just the sheer amount of infested Terrans forced Mia back, but he has the economy to just rebuild his army. He needs to make sure that his opponent, that Roro, is not establishing another base though. And the problem that we will see for Mia is that he, at some point, he needs to pressure those infestors when they are without energy, because the longer the game lasts and the less resources both players have, the more important these infestors are going to be.
Yeah, and Mia still has that mining base in the center, something Roro does not have. He hasn't taken any other bases on the map. And so, in a short period of time here, Mia's going to find himself really mined out on his last mining base up at the north, which is exactly what Legend just showed us with those mineral patches being selected. And that's going to be when things really start to change, and those infestors become basically 5 times as important as they are right now.
Mia kind of needs to try to establish another base, but he does not have a lot of resources. He needs to be very careful about what he does right now. He wants more units, but at the same time, it's really a little bit of a problem for him to establish another base, because how? There are always infestors just trying to burrow in, and he knows that there are still a couple of them on the map. Legend just highlighted them. So he's building the base to the left side of the map, and those overseers will have the one single job of actually spotting burrowed infestors to make sure that this base is not being attacked.
Yeah, this is pretty... This position for Mia right now is exactly what he needs. He's lost 7,000 more resources in total, but because he's mined probably about that much more than his opponent, he's going to be feeling okay about that. Hatchery on the left side may be the nail in the coffin for Roro if he cannot secure a base. And this is something that Mia is patrolling Overlords around looking for, just being like, alright, you still have a base, right? Okay, yeah, you still have a base.
Mia is starting to have a bit of a problem because Roro is getting the edge in the airfight. He has more Corruptors right now. He doesn't really have the Broodlord count, but he has a lot of infestors, and he has the Corruptors to back it up.
Yeah, he needs to move forward and use that, though. Oh. If he catches these infestors, this is so big, and one more fungal will do it, but he gets away!
He moves in with the Broodlords, though, and the Broodlords, they shoot and take down a couple of them infestors. Really
so much hesitation from Mia because he knows there's Corruptors back there. Oh, this game is so tense, but look at the supply man. Mia, you're so right. He's patient here.
He's really, really patient. And
look at the production tab. There's nothing going on for Roro because he doesn't have money. Mia's got so much going on.
Exactly. This 4th base that Mia killed. This was such a crucial point in this game when the 4th base went down and Mia was already camping on the high ground. He knew that he could shut down his opponent's income, and that's exactly what he did. Now Roro finds himself without money, and Mia only has to make sure that this 4th base is never going to be able to be established.
All his drones are in one basket, man. If he actually fungals twice on that mineral line, everything will die. The drones do escape. So many infested Terrans going down for Roro. This is what you talked about, man. They may actually play a big role here as the infested Terrans of Mia are out of position right now.
He needs to move back a little bit. Of course, he has the Spine Crawler to back this fight up. Roro is dropping in supply, so is Mia. These infested Terrans are crazy.
The Spine Crawlers are so critical here. If he did not have these, Roro might have taken out too many units. But it looks like Mia will hold, and this may spell the end for Roro in this second game here, as now he can no longer continue to mine from this base. The Corruptors move forward with the Broods here.
This is the timing for Mia. He knows that most of the infestors are out of energy right now, and he moves in. He starts to take this game. He wants to be in the 3rd match. He wants to force another map in this best of 3 in order to advance in the WCS career. Roro is falling behind. His 3rd base, his 4th base is nearly done, but Mia is on the move.
And Roro is running out of steam. He's got 700 medals on the bank, but no gas to spend. And he's still got the 15 infestors out, but guess what, man? Mia's cleaned up with 22. He's caught up in that count.
Exactly. He way overtook Roro in the infestor count, and now more infestor Terrans are going to spawn. Those Brood Lords still working at the drones, and you said it best earlier. These are the last drones that Roro has. This is the last hope for the Samsung Khan player, and it looks like Mia is going to force game number 3.
Yeah, there's not much to be hoped for anymore. The drones can no longer mine. And 66 lings on the way for Mia. The production tab is so bare for Roro right now. He cannot spend anything. He has no gas income at all.
The hatch is gone.
10 workers left for Roro.
This is basically it. With 170 supply against 65, what can Roro do? No income, no 4th base, and Mia is even taking a 6th base right now.
Yeah, because he can do whatever he wants. There's 3 infestors at the bottom right for Roro that he used to kill the hatchery, but he never used them to do anything else. They all have full energy over there, just kind of sitting, camping out.
Mia is giving Roro a taste of his own medicine now with a big circling run by into the natural and the main base. He's taking down the tech structures.
Forcing out fungal energy to be used here where he does not want to use it.
And of course also the position, a bad one for Roro in terms of his infestor positioning. Yeah, they have to be in the main base now. They cannot help out at the main.
And because he's got the error control as well now with 7-2 Corruptors, he can finally just start to use his Brewlers to attack into the spines. There's no way to stop it. GG. Mia ties the series.